What is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode number 8 of my dumb little wrestling podcast. And you know what time it is? The biggest party of the summer. It just ended not too long ago. We got SummerSlam 2013. Good God. 2023. I got my threes thrown up in there. All right. SummerSlam 2023. I don't want to call it a bang average show, but it was a very solid show. I thought it was, if we're giving it a rating, above a 5 out of 10, but not a 10 out of 10, somewhere in that range. I'd say maybe like a high 7, maybe a high 6. Everything was just pretty much solid. There's a couple of downers on the show, but that's how some pay-per-views go, or premium live events go. There's always like some good stuff, and then there's a couple of bad things. So let's get started. Before we do get started, though, I want to say that there's a chance that videos on this channel might either not be uploaded as often or dip in quality because I got some stuff going on in my personal life. Nothing too crazy, nothing to worry about, but just stuff that I'm going to be taking time to focus on. So instead of podcast Wednesday, fancy upload on Friday that takes quite a bit of editing, and then silly little tier list on Sunday, it might just be podcast for sure, and then I don't know, we'll see. But I'm going to try to stick to the schedule. Still try to do a Wednesday and Friday upload, guarantee. So yeah, so Sunday videos might go away, but tier lists are probably going to be uploaded on Friday, unless I have a good video coming out for y'all. But, this channel ain't going anywhere. And I appreciate all the support. We're getting closer to 500 subs. Let's go. We're climbing. I think we're at like 430 something by the time I'm recording this. But let's get into the event. SummerSlam 2023 to kick off the show. They're at Ford Field. They haven't done an event there since WrestleMania 23. I like WrestleMania 23. And I wish they didn't do the long, runway, setup that they've been doing for, their big shows. I miss, a cool-looking stage, a small ramp, and then, the big, not the big ring, but, it seems a bit bland. You got the nice little LED screen, and then the nice runway that kind of curves when they get to the ring. It's like that. It's a fine little setup. But I want, for your big shows like your Mania, you do the cool entrance. SummerSlam, you can also do a big entrance. Maybe I get the Backlash and whatever, Money in the Bank. I guess I kind of get it, but I don't know. This is supposed to be the biggest party of the summer, bro. You should have that. You should have that stage grand and all lit up. But I guess you fit more people with that setup, so it is what it is. But we got treated to a splendid match to kick off the night. We got Ricochet going up against Logan Paul. They said they were gonna make this a viral match. That was a whole build up to it, plus a little bit of Samantha Irvin stuff getting thrown in there, and it was a good match. They were really stressing on the viral thing. I thought something huge was coming, but the huge thing that was coming was just a really good match. Nothing there wasn't one big spot that they were going for that I think was supposed to be the highlight of the match. Maybe the Spanish fly off the apron where they land on their feet, and then another Spanish fly where they actually connect with it. I guess that was supposed to be the big moment, but there was a few big moments in this match. So I thought it was going to be more along the lines of Ricochet and Logan had their moment in the Rumble, the big double springboard. That was the viral moment. Then Money in the Bank, the almost good but kind of messy Spanish fly, springboard, ladder, pushover. You know what I'm talking about. That was the big viral moment there. So I thought they were going to go for something huge, and I was hoping they better not do something too insane or they're going to kill each other. But they didn't. Just nice, unique spots. Logan did the buckshot lariat thing, except to the outside where he connected with Ricochet. It didn't even look like a clothesline. It just looks like he landed boom, and they connected chest to chest. That looked pretty sick. Ricochet did the hurricane neck breaker from the top rope. That looked pretty nice. Logan, everybody says this, but, I'm going to say it here. I hate that he's so damn good. I hate that he's so damn talented at this wrestling thing. You want to hate him so bad, and, some people do, but you can't help but be like, damn, he's good, though, isn't he? He's pretty good. But it is what it is, he's good in the ring, so if he can put on some entertaining matches, I don't mind. I don't. So, Ricochet, Logan Paul, big moves in the match. At the end, we see one of Logan's buddies, I guess. I don't think it was anybody, important, just one of his, road guys, I guess, one of his partners in crime. They hand him some brass knucks, and you know what he's going to do with them brass knucks. The referee's not looking. One lucky punch with some reinforcement because of those knucks knocks Ricochet out. 1, 2, 3. Samantha Irvin has to say, here's your winner, Logan Paul. And yeah, the end is pretty solid match. Good opening match. Every match on the show had time, except for like one. One match felt like it wasn't going to go on for too long, and I'm glad it didn't because it was kind of meh. But every match got time, and I know there was a lot of people that were like, oh, where's, Austin Theory having a U.S. title match? Where's Becky and Trish? And maybe another match on there that I can't remember that they were planning on, but Austin Theory not having his U.S. title match, I can see. I wish that would have been on the show. It would have been a great spot for Santos Escobar. But, of course, the one thing I really can't see, though, is they were given quite a bit of time to Trish and Becky's feud. And you would think, instead of, I know that they're going to blow off the feud maybe on Raw in Canada, next week, I think they're going to do it. But, wouldn't you rather, you started it after Mania, first match at Night of Champions, okay. Money in the Bank, they were in the Money in the Bank match, okay. And then they didn't do the big final match, or big final, spot between the two at SummerSlam. They're gonna do it on Raw. I guess because it's in Canada, it still has some specialness to it, but I don't know. I just don't know. But it is what it is. I get if they didn't have the Slim Jim Battle Royal, they probably could have fit that on. But marketing and advertising and money. So I guess that's why. But we're gonna move on to the next match: Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. No stipulation. Bummer, but Cody said in an interview, which I'll go back to this interview. I think it was with Sean Ross Sapp. They were in the bleachers, or they were doing something. They were sitting down. I think at the arena. And they're like, why, what went through y'all's mind? You and Brock, did you not want a stipulation? And then Cody said, oh, well, no, I don't think there needs to be a stipulation because then there would be an out, a way of saying, I beat this guy because of this. And both guys don't want an out. They want a fight down to the middle. And, looking at that interview, I'm like, okay, you know what? Fair enough. 3 matches between the pair. No stipulations. That's a solid enough reasoning. They never said it on TV, I don't think, and we still don't have a reason why Brock attacked him. I don't think. Nothing that's super obvious and clear. But either way, it got me more into the match. I get why they're not making it too exciting, because I'm not gonna lie, a lot of this Brock Lesnar Cody feud is the same shit. Cody gets his ass beat. Brock kicks his ass. Cody wins or loses, but loses in heroic fashion, where he doesn't really lose, but he gets his ass kicked throughout the whole thing. So, we have the Cody and Brock match. Brock's shorts are, obliterated. They're, getting ripped to shreds. Not they don't fall apart or nothing, but they are ripped up. And, oh boy, we almost got, 2002 to 2004 Brock coming back right there. And it was a decent match. I wasn't too hyped on it going in. Cody gets his ass kicked in the early stages. F5 on the floor, on the outside, through the table, I want to say. And Cody is barely getting in the ring past the 10 count. They're like, why are you doing this, Cody? And then halfway through the match, I want to say, maybe not halfway, maybe closer to the end, Cody hits Brock with the steel steps. And as soon as he did that, I'm like, wow, they really threw this match away off a disqualification. And the ref never rings the bell. He hits him with the steel steps. And it's like, okay, is this a no DQ match? Did they surprise us? Did I miss it during when they were coming out, any referee or ring announcer saying, hey, this is gonna be this? No, it's a normal match. And then it comes down to it. Cody gets the Kimura lock on Brock Lesnar. Isn't that crazy? And at the end, we see Lesnar, I believe he goes chest first into the exposed turnbuckle, which kind of was Backlash, where Lesnar hit face first and then started bleeding. But we got the turnbuckle spot. Cody hits Crossroads. I think he does his 3 Crossroads in a row, which I'm not gonna lie, I kind of miss when the Crossroads was just a one and done, because now when he hits that 3, it's a guaranteed game ender, which kind of sucks. I like the unpredictability of, oh damn, he's gonna kick out of the 1 Crossroads, but he always goes to the 3. But you do what you do to get a win. Cody wins, even though he kind of had to cheat throughout that match, exposing the turnbuckle, which was on purpose. You can't say oh, he was trying to hold on because of the German suplex. No, Cody knew what he was doing. That bastard. He also used the steel steps. Poor Brock Lesnar. He is the victim in this scenario. Lesnar is the true good guy, even though he's been the one beating up Cody Rhodes and being an asshole. But at the end, it was unplanned. Apparently, Brock Lesnar is like, "Hey, shake hand, give a little hug, raise Cody hand. Yay! We're all so happy that the feud is over." And, that was a nice moment. It put a little smile on my face. I'm glad that the feud is over, and that's what we see Lesnar be like, hey, he's the guy. Cody's a good boy. I'll see y'all later. I'll see you back at the farm. Yeehaw. Tractors and whatnot. But back to that interview with Sean Ross Sapp, Cody's like, oh, none of us won an out in this match. It's like, okay, you don't want anyone to be like, well, Brock Lesnar won because he did this, or Cody won because he did this. Fair enough, straight down the middle. Well, we could say Cody won because he did this. He did the turnbuckle thing again, and he hit him right in front of the ref, which you can say, oh, well, it's a part of the ring, or it wasn't in the ring, so the ref isn't going to count it as a DQ, which, like, okay, but we know if I hop on 2K23 right now, I don't have the game. If I hopped on 2K22 right now, and I go and hit someone with the steps, the referee's going to be like, hey, what the hell, man? Like, you can throw them into the steps, you can put people through the announce table. As long as you're not the one who set it up, even if you bring a chair in the ring, let's say, like on Raw recently, Damian Priest, Money in the Bank in his hands, Rollins super kicked it in the Priest. There's no DQ there because Priest brought it in, but Rollins just kicked it and it hit Priest. So technically, Rollins didn't use it as a weapon. It just backfired on Priest's behalf. So, oh well. Same thing with, like, now this is a bit stretch, but like in AEW, especially when I think of the all-out match between Kenny Omega and Christian, I think Kenny Omega set up the table. So if Kenny put Christian through it, even though AEW, they're a little bit more loose with the rules and all that, countouts and people going in during tag matches. But I believe Kenny was the one that grabbed the table, and Christian speared him through the table. So they just fell through the table. Kenny didn't use that as a weapon. Christian speared Kenny through his own weapon. So, not really a DQ there. Did I just get a phone vibration? I did. What the hell's going on? Why are you sending me this stuff? Anyway, so yeah, that's my little rant on, like, why the steel step should have been a DQ. But it's whatever. The feud's over. It was a solid match. I'm glad we got the nice little Brock raising Cody's hand at the end. That's my 2 cents on it. We're going to move on to the Slim Jim Battle Royal. Yeah, LA Knight. He needed to be the one to win this. Nobody else should have won this except for maybe Gable, maybe Sheamus, maybe some guys that you really want to, like, get some fire under them. But LA Knight, everybody. I don't know a single soul that maybe wanted anybody else to win more than LA Knight. LA Knight won. It was a fun little battle royal. It was like 10 minutes long or whatever. Marketing, they got paid for it. There was a commercial for Slim Jim, Bianca Belair, and LA Knight. That was a fun little commercial. I like those two. If they did a women's version of the Slim Jim Battle Royal, it would have been cool to see that. But Bianca was busy later on winning some gold, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But nothing much to say. Omos was like the special extra entrant, and it's like, okay, cool. I don't think he's gonna win. And who else was in there that was like notable? I don't think anybody really notable was in there. Shinsuke was in it. Ciampa was in it. Grayson Waller and Miz had a fun moment where they were kind of looking at each other like, oh, we're kind of the same person. You have a talk show and you're a heel. I have a talk show and I'm a heel. Wow, aren't we cool guys? So, yeah, everybody eliminating Omos later in the match was cool. There was one thing I was thinking of, but I can't put my finger on it. It has to do with Omos eliminating like the 3 or 4 people right out of the gate. I know he eliminated Apollo, which, oh yeah, it was Apollo, JD, and Rick Boogs. I think those 3 got eliminated right away by Omos. And now I get Rick Boogs. I mean, I love the guy, but like I get Rick Boogs being thrown out immediately. But you just drafted JD McDonough and Apollo from NXT. You're having Apollo Crews and JD McDonough on like main event and kind of having JD on the main roster a bit, sprinkling him into the Judgment Day stuff with Finn, kind of. But like, you just drafted those 2 new guys, and I get, people got to get eliminated, but I don't know. You just bring these 2 guys up from NXT that were doing pretty good for themselves down there, and they haven't done crap since except for get eliminated within like a minute by Omos in a battle royal. It's like that sucks for them, and kind of bummed me out. But in the end, we got LA Knight winning. That was fun. Him and Sheamus kind of got redemption for that messy little spot on SmackDown, the big leap into the top rope, belly to belly or suplex kind of thing. I forgot what it was, but you know what I'm talking about. So it was good to see them be like, hey, no. Just because we slipped up once doesn't mean we can't do that spot good. And they did it good. Sheamus gets eliminated. A part of me thought they were not going to give it to LA Knight once again. And a smile just spread across my face because if you've been paying attention to the channel, you know, especially in the early days during those tier lists, Sheamus is my guy. Sheamus is like one of my number one guys. If there was like a top 5, like my favorite wrestlers since I started watching, Sheamus is in that top 5. He kind of like shuffles around that top 5. He was 1 for a while. Now he's probably around like 2 or 3. But Sheamus is one of my boys. So the fact that he could have pissed a lot of people off by eliminating LA Knight to win, I would have been the happiest motherfucker in town, bro. I'm telling you. I would not have been upset whatsoever if Sheamus won the Battle Royal eliminating LA Knight. A lot of people probably would have been upset, but whatever. LA Knight won. It was needed. Good for him. We're moving on to probably the biggest, I don't want to be rude, but like kind of the biggest dud of the night. Shayna Baszler, Ronda Rousey, MMA rules match. It was, it's a bit slower and a bit more like rules based, like what they can do and what not. And I heard a couple people in the crowd going boring, and I felt bad because this was like Ronda Rousey's farewell. Not a blood feud because problems only started between the two like a month ago. But, it was a big kind of like blow off to their mini feud. And they're both, good friends that are tearing each other apart in the ring. Shayna Baszler sending her friend packing by making her not tap out, but technical submission made her pass out. So now they could say, oh, only person to ever make Ronda submit. Yeah, technicality, but I guess it's true. It's a WWE MMA fight, there's gonna, it's scripted going in. Like, I can extend my belief when it's a wrestling match, like, typical wrestling match, but when you're trying to be like, oh no, it's just like how they do it in old UFC, old MMA, yeah, all that stuff. I know it's not. It's like, we all know it's not. Although Shayna looked pretty banged up after the match, so they were going hard on one another. So I'm glad that it like felt a bit realistic in that sense. I hope Shayna heals up soon. I think she has like a hyperextended elbow and a dislocated thumb or something like that, and like a facial fracture. She looked pretty banged up, but she wrestled a match on Raw against Zoe Stark. I think she won. I'm not sure. I think Becky Lynch caused a distraction. Raw just ended like a few hours ago. I just had it on in the background. But yeah, this was whatever. If this is Ronda Rousey's last match in WWE, like forever, she'll probably come back for like 1 or 2 more matches, I think, in a couple of years if she's bored or whatnot. But I'm glad Shayna won. Other than that, you're not gonna cry yourself to sleep at night if you miss or never see this match. It is what it is. And now we're moving on to the Intercontinental Championship. The Ring General Gunther defended successfully against Drew McIntyre. This match was fun. It felt like it went by a bit quick. Like we didn't get one of those like 20-minute Gunther Sheamus matches, but it still was a hard-hitting, great match. I mean, there was a chance that McIntyre could have won, sure. But Gunther's like a little less than a month, a little over a month. I think 32 days, Michael Cole said on commentary. 32 days from beating Honky Tonk Man's record, or reign, or whatever you want to say. They weren't going to throw that away. I would have been happy for Drew, but it would have been really stupid to have Gunther go all that way just to lose a month before he would have broken the reign. So, I'm glad Gunther won. And it was a hard-hitting, great match. Not really any notes or anything to dive deep into. Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci weren't out there at ringside, I don't think. So, respectable, no rule breaking or nothing. Drew and Gunther, they didn't have a chop off. And I'm not gonna lie, McIntyre got the better on those chops. Usually Gunther's like the big chop machine, but Drew got some nasty hands of his own, I'm not gonna lie. Big Scotsman. God dang, bro, laying bombs on his chest. So that was a fun, hard-hitting match. But, kind of expected to see Gunther win. I'm more excited about him and Gable. Him and Chad Gable, they had that bit on Raw a week ago, and Now Chad Gable just became number one contender for the Intercontinental title. Maybe they'll do that on Raw or they'll save it for Payback. Either way, I hope they have a good 20-minute classic Gunther and Chad Gable. I don't think Chad's going to win. You could do Gunther beats Chad. Chad wants one more match and then beats him after the reign. But I don't think they're going to have Gunther drop the title immediately after he passes Honky Tonk's reign. I think they'll have him carry it for at least a couple more months. But I do think Chad, Sheamus, and I've seen people bring up Ilya Dragunov. Those three, I don't mind being the ones to defeat Gunther. Ilya did have his big moment, even though it was during the pandemic. I think it was early 2021, I think he did it. But he did have his moment when he beat Gunther for the UK title in NXT. But, like I said, it was kind of pandemic era. He could get a better moment if he defeats Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. But he already had that big moment against Gunther. So maybe we should give it to someone like Chad. And maybe we should give it to someone like Sheamus. I mean, Sheamus has done it all except the IC title. That's the biggest storyline for Gunther and Sheamus is his hunt for that Intercontinental title. Each attempt he gets hungrier and hungrier. So a big... Hell, you could do you could do Gunther versus Sheamus 2 out of 3 falls maybe at WrestleMania 40. You could do something like that. Make it like a brawl, a Belfast brawl or something like that. I don't know. Irish guy, I don't know. Do something like that. I just want to see Sheamus get that big prize at the end. And Gunther, go down defeat. But if it's by the hands of someone like Sheamus, they fought their asses off. But we're going to move on to Finn Balor challenging Seth Rollins for the second time for the World Heavyweight Championship. And Rollins comes out. What do you know? Both of these guys had nice little details on their entrance. We had Rollins coming out with the green and black vest that he wore SummerSlam 2016 Universal Championship match, the match that Balor got injured in, but also the match that Rollins lost. So why would Rollins want to be reminded of that? What? But Finn also came out with the cool little paint design. It was 7 across his shoulder, and it was outlined going across his shoulder or whatever it was, and the V was all cool looking. It just looked cool. Michael Cole said tattoo at first, and I was like, whoa, I know that's not permanent. That's a Cody Rhodes-esque. Why would you put that on your self tattoo? I mean, it doesn't look as weird as Cody Rhodes' neck tattoo, but I'm glad. I believe it was Corey Graves. I think Corey eventually said paint. I was like, oh, thank God he didn't actually get that tattooed. I mean, if that moment of him injuring his shoulder really meant the world to him for him to get it tattooed, then do what you want. But oh my God, that would have been terrible. So I'm glad it was just paint. These two probably had my favorite match of the night. I was most excited for this match going into it because I really didn't know if they were gonna have Balor win. A lot of these matches were somewhat predictable except for a couple. And I'm glad that this match, the match was good for the first 15 minutes or whatever. But that last stretch, the last 5 minutes, or not even, maybe last just half of the match, where they're trading their big moves, and you're like, okay, this is where Balor does it, or okay, this is where Seth does it, and then they end up kicking out, dude. It's great. Earlier in the day, I think WWE were doing the Best of SummerSlam live stream. They always do it before every one of their PLEs, or if Backlash is coming on, they're best Backlash matches. They'll do a 2-hour live stream on their YouTube. I watch that every Saturday when they do it just to kill some time. Plus, it's fun to go back down memory lane. I rewatched for the first time since it happened. I haven't rewatched it since. But I finally rewatched Balor and Rollins from 2016. Those two, the match is mainly thought about because Balor winning the title, but he was injured, so he had to give it away the next night. But that match alone was just, damn, Balor gets injured before even the halfway point, I think. So he wrestles the rest of that match, maybe an extra 10 minutes with that effed up shoulder. So props to Finn Balor, bro. Demon King. I hate the Demon King. I like the Demon Finn Balor. The Demon King makes it feel like its own persona. And it doesn't need to be its own persona. It's Finn Balor getting into the zone. So, yeah. No more Demon King. It's been killed. Just call him the Demon. I don't know if they're allowed to do that. Whatever. Anyways, this match was a banger. Of course, we had Damian Priest walk down the aisleway. We're like, whoa, this already happened at Money in the Bank. Don't do the same thing you did. And they didn't. They kind of did, but they didn't. This time, not Finn. Damien was waving down for someone to come and help, and who was it? It was Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio, and they came down to be a part of the festivities. Also, another bummer that Rhea wasn't defending her title on the show. Her reign, I love you, Rhea, but her reign has sucked. It has not been good. A good match against Zelina, but that was more of a highlight for Zelina at Backlash than it was for Rhea. Then she had the series of matches, 2 or 3 matches with Natalya. One was a squash, one wasn't, and one was another title match and was kind of good. But then she injured Liv, and then she injured Raquel. Not really injured Raquel. I think Liv's actually injured, but Raquel, they're oh, when you're cleared, you'll get your title match. And it's man, I get you don't want SummerSlam to run too long, but bro, come on. I'll tell you this. Cody and Brock, as big of a match it was, they didn't need 17 minutes. I'm looking at Wikipedia right now. Logan Paul Ricochet, as good of a match it didn't need 18 minutes. Chop down Ricochet and Paul to 12. Chop down Cody and Brock to maybe 13, 14. You can squeeze in a hard-hitting, quick 6-minute, 7-minute match between. Also, Roman's entrance, by the way. God. And also, we'll get to the main event, actually. Hold up. I think there could have been a spot for Trish, Becky / Rhea and Raquel. Even though Raquel would have just been set up that Monday before SummerSlam. I get why they didn't do that. But they've been kind of teasing it. Raquel and Rhea. But either way, it comes down to it. Back and forth. I thought they were going to give it to Balor 1 or 2 times, but Rollins kicked out. Rollins and Finn on the mat. Finn's Damien, do something, or I don't know. There was something about a plan. Damien and Finn were having a full-on conversation in the corner. No, this is plan A. We're still doing plan A. Plan B comes later. And Damien ends up throwing his briefcase in the ring, goes to distract the ref. And this was such a good spot. I thought they were going to do this on Raw or a couple times with the Money in the Bank briefcase. But Finn goes to grab the briefcase. Rollins immediately perks up, stomp on the briefcase. Balor's head connects. 1, 2, 3. Rollins retains. Fun match. A part of me is also Damien, I get that you're sad. We saw that image on Twitter of Damien just looking so defeated Finn, you lost again, man. What the hell? And why didn't... Maybe Rollins ran out of there, but at the same time, he just went through a banging 15+ minute match. You couldn't have tracked him down and maybe cashed in right there, easy pickings. I don't know, just a thought. But it's whatever. He was probably more bummed out about the Judgment Day failing once again for their big goal. So yeah, it sucks that Finn got back-to-back pay-per-view losses. He's lost every match he's been in all year, it seems like. I said it in my top 10 wrestlers of 2023 so far when I included Judgment Day at number 6. Finn's lost didn't have a great showing at the Royal Rumble. They set up the Edge thing there. Lost at Elimination Chamber. Lost as the Demon King at WrestleMania to Brood Edge. Lost at... He didn't even make it to... Wait, no, he wasn't even on Backlash. Didn't make it the Night of Champions because he lost to Rollins on Raw in that tournament for the World Heavyweight title. I believe Night of Champions after that. Money in the Bank lost that title match. Lost here at SummerSlam. They did put on a good match. Finn Balor can still be proud of himself. They're either going to kick Finn out of Judgment Day or Finn's going to betray Judgment Day and team up with JD. I don't know. I kind of feel bad, but at the same time, he's been put in a pretty big main spot on Raw, so I can't be too upset. At least he's not happy-go-lucky, smiley Finn wins the Intercontinental title from Bobby Lashley and kind of doesn't really do anything with it, then loses it to Shinsuke on a kickoff show. Remember that? That was 2019. Remember how good 2019 was? It wasn't really good. But yeah, it is what it is. We're going to move on to Bianca Belair, Charlotte, and Asuka. Now I'm not going to lie, I was kind of checked out. This match moved a bit slower, was kind of I don't know, it was kind of to me. They got a lot of time. And it felt like a match that could have been main event of night 1 or night 2 of Mania. But something wasn't really connecting with me. I'm acknowledging that it was a good match, but I don't know. towards like the last bit, I guess it's maybe the fact that like Charlotte's in it, and there's always that thought in the back of my head like, oh, Charlotte's gonna end Asuka's reign early. Like, oh, don't do this to Asuka, just have her win the damn match. And I'm really conflicted with this match because skipping to the end, the angle with Bianca's knee being hurt or leg, whatever happened, I think it was her knee, but that was cool and that was like convincing. And I was like, oh, nice, interesting end. But yeah, so we're gonna run down this real quick before I get to like what I was gonna say. So Bianca gets sent over the top rope, bangs her knee / maybe her hand, or not hand, head on the steel steps, but she is like crying out, bro. That knee is fucked up. And so people are now they're showing her on camera, so if you don't know wrestling's little secrets or whatever, you know if it's a real injury, they kind of like shy away from showing them on camera, but they pointed the camera. You saw cameramen looking at Bianca the whole time. So you knew, okay, either she's not really injured and it's a fake out and it's a heel turn, ooh, which is what I thought. I thought she was going to say psych last minute and go win that title. But no, like in story, her knee was really hurt. But Asuka and Charlotte figure 8. Bianca says, fuck you helping me. I got a title to win. 450, 1-2, and she doesn't win. I thought low-key that might have been the end. But yeah, Charlotte kick out, and then we get down to Bianca. Her knee is fucked up, and she's in the figure 8 this time instead of Asuka. Asuka slides in. Beautiful shot with the mist of Charlotte's face with the blue mist. I like that a lot. And then what did Asuka do? I think she tried to like jump on Bianca or something. Bianca like rolled her up out of nowhere. 1, 2, 3. That was a very nice finishing sequence where it's like, oh shoot, Charlotte's gonna make Bianca tap out. Oh shoot, Asuka's gonna retain her title by fucking with Charlotte's face with the mist. Oh shoot, Bianca just rolled up Asuka 1, 2, 3 while she was still in the figure 8. Very good ending. And then we get Io Sky coming out. Bianca's like, I'm hurt, man. What the hell? Bianca, Io Sky, Io cashes in Money in the Bank. Bayley bonks everybody with that briefcase, gets hit by Bianca. But Io's like, alright, bet. Attacks the knee, whacks her in the head with the briefcase. Over the moonsault, Io Sky, 1, 2, 3, you're a new women's champion. I love Bianca. Sucks that her reign was so short, like a minute or 2 long. A minute, 2 minutes long, whatever. But I'm so damn happy for Io. So I'm happy that Bianca got a cool little win. Sucks that her, she only won to give it to Io. But very happy for Io because she deserves that. She'll be a great women's champion. But, capital B, but, what the hell, man? Asuka's reign fucking sucked. She lost to Bianca at Mania. Won the title in the rematch. Clever little ending. So I was like, okay, cool. Had her new title. DQ ending to her versus Charlotte. Don't think she defended her title at all. Just kind of back and forth with her, Bianca, Charlotte. We get the big triple threat. Fun, good match. And, dude, her reign did nothing, dude. It's like if Rhea were to lose her title right now. Like, she won it at Mania, good match. Nice moment with Zelina. Meh stuff with Natalya. And then really nothing comes out of her reign. Like, I feel like people aren't going to be as upset about, like, Asuka winning because Io won, and I'm super happy for Io. But damn, man. That just sucks. That really does suck that Asuka did not get a good reign. If she wins that world title again, the women's world title or just the women's title, whatever, she needs to have NXT level run with that belt. I know we already saw it recently with like Becky and then Bianca. We already got many long reigns with the belt. Rhea's probably going to hold on to that title for a bit longer too. We're going to see like year-long reigns from all of them. But Asuka needs that killer NXT Asuka title reign. It doesn't have to be like 400 and whatever days as long as it was. But, or maybe that was just her undefeated streak in general. I don't know. Either way, I need Asuka to have like a near year-long reign next time she wins the women's championship. Like, you can't keep doing her dirty like that. Damn, that sucks. But I'm happy for Io. Everybody did good in that match. I'm happy that Charlotte didn't win. So, I don't want to sound like a Charlotte Flair hater, but I'm glad that she didn't win the title because she didn't need it. Yeah. So we're moving on to the main event. This pay-per-view is really conflicting for me. It's like a lot of things were like, yeah, I wish this happened, but I'm glad that this happened. You know, a lot of back and forth. But we got Roman Reigns defending his undisputed WWE Universal Championship against Jey Uso. Main event Jey Uso. He had the crowd all sorts of hyped up. Down since day one-ish. Yeah, saying down since day one-ish. Yeah. Or whatever else they say. The shot of him like waving his hands up and down and the crowd doing it with him, that almost convinced me that Jey was gonna win. I was like, holy shit, this man is getting Daniel Bryan like yes movement levels of crowd loving him. They're gonna give him that title tonight. Because remember, in my predictions, if you watch that, I picked Roman to win, and my two big reasons were like, are they gonna, Jey Uso is not gonna have a good reign based on what we've seen with a lot of tag guys winning the big one, and also, we already know what we're getting with Roman if he were to win. Jey, it's a bit uncertain. Will they do it? I don't know. And lo and behold, Roman retains his title. And we had, okay, so here's, now someone in the comments of the predictions video, I said tribal combat, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's like something to do with nobody can get involved. And I was half right, because that was brought up. There's like something even on WWE's website where it's like, no interference, there has to be a winner. So I didn't know it was no DQ. I thought just nobody can get involved. But someone in the comments was like, no, it's just no disqualification. I was like, oh, okay. So people are going to get involved. But then I was like, not redeemed. I don't know why that was going to be the word of choice. But anyways, I was proven that, oh, no, I'm thinking the right thing on here. It said, I don't know. I don't ever do research on the pod. Tribal combat WWE rules. I don't fucking know. WWE ignore the rules of tribal combat. Aha. Oh, don't. Yeah, I have an ad blocker. I'm sorry. But either way, there's like a thing that's like, there must be a winner. Nobody's allowed to interfere. So no Solo, no Paul. I mean, Paul is out there, so yeah, okay. So, but Paul's not gonna hit anybody. It'd be funny to see him try though. But yeah, no one was gonna interfere, and it was looking like that. It was an okay match. It gave me Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns 2022 vibes of like they're brawling around the barricade area. They pick up a table. One dude in the crowd, I forgot, he had like a flag as like one of his signs that he brought, and he was like, hit him again. It was like an older dude, and Roman said, you want me to hit him again? I'll hit him again. It's like, that was funny. I like that. Samoan drop, one spot. The table was set up on the outside. Dude, Jey lifting Roman over that top rope on his shoulders, backing up, falling off the apron through the table. Samoan drop, that was nice. That was good stuff. Then it ended up going to like into the fans by like the production area where all the tables and laptops and all that stuff is chilling. And then we got Solo Sikoa, which I immediately was like, oh, okay. Because commentary was like, oh, there's no Solo here because he got taken out on SmackDown last night. And I thought that's, okay, it goes along with the no one can interfere. So yeah, it's good that they wrote Solo off for a little bit. That way, yeah, there's a reason for him not interfering. Plus, the stipulation says so. But he shows up anyway. The big Uranagi through the table. And then he just carries Jey, does Roman's bidding, carries Jey back towards the ring area. And I believe this is where they go for the spike and spear combo, which is sick. They've only hit it a couple times. And I thought they were going to hit it again, but no, Jey pulls Solo in the way of Roman. Roman spears Solo. I'm like, oh my goodness, he hit Solo and not Jey. Oh my god. So yeah, before we continue on, I just, everybody, I'm pretty sure everybody that I've seen on Twitter has been like, oh, Roman, buddy, the same shit happens in all your matches. You're kind of looking weak. And while I'm like, I wouldn't say he looks weak, but it is almost the same thing every Roman title match. Since at least, like, McIntyre and maybe a couple times before. It's, man, there's always some kind of interference. I get you're a heel champion, and heel champion shenanigans are going to happen. There's going to be some interference, whether it's by Rollins at Money in the Bank, Edge, Daniel Bryan, Fastlane. Remember that? I doubt you do. I bet you only remember the Mania Triple Threat, not that Edge is the special enforcer at Fastlane nonsense. That was a bit weird. But hey, that Triple Threat was awesome, so I think it was kind of worth it. So there's always something going on with Roman and interferences, and he just can't seem to win a match on his own, or anytime he is on his own. Last time he was on his own was that Money in the Bank tag match, and he lost. He got pinned. Oh no. But you can't keep making the argument that he's a big heel, and yeah, interferences are going to happen. Because you can have heel win by shenanigans even, but you don't need to do the interference card. Like, although this isn't the best example because I don't really like the finish, John Cena, CM Punk Night of Champions 2012. German suplex off the top rope. 1, 2, 3. Cena won. Yay. Oh, wait, no. Punk's shoulders were down. And so was Cena. So it was a draw. Punk retains. Whoa, that's shenanigans. So build up to a match later between the two. But then they did the Ryback thing at LSL. And we're not going to get into all that, are we? No, we're not. But yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. You don't need to do interference. You could have Roman beat him clean, just as long as it's a good, strong match where it's like, you know what, Jey Uso lost, Roman is continuing his reign, but damn, what an effort from Jey. What a good fight from Roman as well. But no, you got to do the same thing. But I'm getting carried away. We got to move on. So Solo, and here's another thing I could rant about. Solo's like, Roman's near the barricade. Jey Uso got whacked by, I want to say, a kendo stick. I think his son was at ringside, like front row in the fans, and he was going yeet. It's like, let's go, and he looked happy. I was like, oh, he's gonna see his dad possibly win, because I was still convinced Roman was gonna win, but there's a part of me like they could still give it to Jey. So the thought of Jey winning and his son being front row, that would have been really nice to see. But he got whacked by, I think, the kendo stick, and then Solo gets up, and Roman's like, go get him, Solo. And Solo's like staring him down. He's like, huh? And Roman's like, oh, me spearing you? You thought I did it on purpose? And Roman's the bad guy here. And yeah, he did spear him, but like, Jey literally pulled your arm, Solo. Roman would have had to stop dead in his tracks to avoid spearing you. You got pulled in the way. He didn't like shift to the side to spear you. No, you got pulled. That's nobody's fault, Solo. Like, I shouldn't side with you because you're the bad guy, but Solo, come on, brother, what are you doing? But yeah, they had that little thing. I believe Jey then spears Roman through the barricade, or something happens. I kind of forgore, but something happens where I think Jey spears Roman through the barricade. And then Solo, I want to say gets like super kicked or something. I forgot what happened to Solo, but he gets taken out of the equation. I want to say, wait, does Jey spear Roman through the barricade and then sends Roman back in the ring, then spears Roman, right? Oh, I can't believe I'm like, this just happened a couple days ago. Either way, something happens where Jey's able to pin Roman for the win. 1, 2, and I didn't know what, but I saw the camera pan away from Jey's legs, and he was near the ropes. Perfect time for, I thought, Solo to pull him out, but no, Solo's knocked out wherever he is. I think through the announce table. And then, oh wait, I think he splashes Solo through the announce table after spearing Roman. Roman goes for a spear, Jey dodges it, spear to Roman, then cover, then like pull out the ring. I think that's what happened. Okay, either way, a hooded figure, and I did not expect it to be Jimmy. Jey's twin brother is, day one. At first, I'm like, now who the fuck, what other Anoa'i family or whatever, because it wasn't Jacob Fatu. Zilla Fatu is a bit too new. I don't think they'd bring him in right away. But it wasn't Jacob. It wasn't Zilla. Those are the only two other Usas I know. But, Jacob's a big boy. Like, he's a monster, so I knew it wasn't Jacob. And Zilla Fatu was actually he was at NXT Great American Bash and the Raw after. My friend got a picture with him, I think, at Great American Bash. That was cool. We saw him, like, going back to the parking garage outside of the Toyota Center, so that was just cool to see him, like, walking around, chilling. He was talking to people. But yeah, either way, it's Jimmy. And this is gonna be like a deep dive, I guarantee it. But Jimmy pulls Jay out the ring. Jay's like, "Excuse me, sir, what the hell are we doing here?" He eats a super kick to the face. Jay looked really cool in that, or not Jay. Jimmy looked really cool in that like black hoodie. Like he looked all business. Damn. So yeah. He gets tossed back into the ring. Roman spears him through the table that's been leaned up in the corner through like since halfway through the match. 1, 2, 3. Roman retains. He kind of looked like a bitch through a good chunk of that match. You know, Jey Uso, your little oos that you've been better than all your life or whatever the story was. And you know, it's like he kind of kicked your ass. He beat you at Money in the Bank. He pinned you in that tag match. And it took a whole lot of interference, even though there shouldn't have been, to beat him. So it's like, dude, do something different. But now, all that said and done, now we can move on to... Everybody's using the term jump the shark. It's like, whoa, one person used the term jump the shark, and now everybody's like putting it in thumbnails, saying it on Twitter. It's like, okay. As someone who only has a slight idea of what jump the shark means, I don't think they jumped the shark. Sure, it's like a bit of... You could have saved Jimmy and Jay, like, one of them turns heel on the other, betrays each other. I guess, yeah, they jumped the shark in that sense, but at the same time, it is a part of the big Bloodline story. The rating, they're not going to stop the Bloodline stuff unless ratings start to decline and they need to change. You know they're going to keep it going somehow. Jay wins this, Roman's not gonna feud and want a rematch. Maybe in like a couple months, sure, yeah. Maybe at Payback, sure. But after that, Roman's done, probably. Hell, Roman could retire right now or move on to Hollywood right now if he were to lose that, you know. But no, yeah, we got to keep it going. But I did not expect it. A lot of people didn't like it, and I get why they didn't like it. I liked it only because I never even thought of it. There's 2 tag teams, maybe like a few more that I'm forgetting, but there's 2 tag teams that are like the 2 best, either of all time or just today, you know, probably both. But there's 2 tag teams that I never thought, or it would take a lot of turmoil to split them up. And that's the Young Bucks and the Usos. The Young Bucks had their little brother versus brother thing on BTE, but we all know that's not really like canon or whatever you want to say. That's not like, you know, big New Japan, AEW stuff, you know. Yeah, I don't think the Young Bucks are ever going to split up. If they do, that'd be crazy. And I never thought the Usos would split up. Now, a while ago, like, if they were going to split the Usos, I thought it was going to be during Jay being called main event Jey Uso. Jimmy was injured, so it's like, oh, damn, I can't be there to be main event Jimmy with my bro, main event Jay. That's where the jealousy could have started. But Jimmy came back, and instead of like being like, Jay, you suck, I hate you, we're going to fight, he was like, Jay, I want to help you. I'm nobody's bitch. And then immediately got turned into Roman's sidekick as well, like a month later, so he kind of was somebody's bitch, I guess. Pulls on t-shirt, But, yeah, I get that Jimmy's jealous, or that's probably what they're going to lean into, like, you know, oh, how comes you get to be main event Jay, and I'm just Jimmy over here. Which, in his defense, yeah, we all love Jay a bit more because he's been doing a lot more in his defense. So, you know, you can't really blame Jay. You were injured, bud. Sorry. That sucks. But also, Jimmy was the one that when he got back from injury was like, Jay, don't be Roman's follower. Don't be his little bitch. And then we had Jimmy also going like, I'm the tribal chief. Whoa, he's getting pushed around by Roman. Then a Night of Champions, he's the one that super kicks Roman. Whoa, that's what started the cracks in the Civil War and the Bloodline and all that. Then we got the Bloodline Civil War, Money in the Bank. No hesitation throughout that match. Jimmy's a player along with Jay. They're teaming up. They beat Roman and Solo. Jimmy gets injured, brutally injured a couple weeks ago by Roman and Solo. Put through the announce table, sent to the hospital. So why would you give the opportunity for Roman to keep his title and prevent your brother from winning the title? I know the answers will be given to us on SmackDown, but at the same time, we kind of know why they did it, business standpoint, to keep the bloodline thing going. But, story standpoint, it really doesn't make much sense. On SmackDown, he's probably going to say some shit like, oh, the typical, you were main event Jay, where was I? I was mid-card Jimmy. That might be a bar, I guess. I don't know. But I'm not going to be in nobody's shadow. And that's another point that, like, if Jay were to win the title, where does that put Jimmy? Jimmy's not just going to be his cheerleader the whole time. Like, that doesn't make sense, because they're both credible workers. They're both a good tag team. And just because Jay kind of stepped up while Jimmy was injured, doesn't mean you got to treat Jimmy like shit. You could have given him something, I guess. But he kind of fell into the mix, with Jay still kind of being a bit of the highlighted member of the bloodline. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully something that makes sense. Jimmy versus Jay, the Matt versus Jeff feud in 2009 wasn't super good. Their Mania match was okay. Their stretcher match that they had on SmackDown was okay. The I Quit match was okay. Their feud didn't feel crazy, like, good, that you would think Matt and Jeff would have. I'm hoping this isn't the same thing with the Usos, where, like, Jimmy and Jay, their matches are, like, fine, like, brother versus brother, that's crazy, but the matches are just okay. I hope they put on some bangers, like at Payback or whenever they do Jimmy versus Jay. Hope we get some, like, unsanctioned, like, beating the crap out of one another. That'd be awesome. But at the end of the day, Roman retains. I called it, yeah. But it was what it was. This match, by the way, I didn't even realize, but it was 36 minutes long, bro. This match could have been cut down about 10 minutes. 26 minutes is still a good, hefty chunk of time for these guys to do what they did. Like, it wasn't even that great of a match. Like, the big thing is, like, Jimmy turning on his brother, and that was, like, the last minute. It's like, okay. Like, that's the thing everybody's gonna remember. And there weren't even any notable spots throughout the match itself to where, like, oh, we're gonna go back and we're gonna remember that. We're gonna remember Solo being there when he shouldn't have, because that's against Tribal Combat rules. We're gonna remember maybe the Samoan drop to the table. Okay. That was pretty cool. I liked that. I gave Jay his flowers for doing that earlier. But other than that, it was a simple Roman Reigns. Like, it wasn't like Brock versus Roman Last Man Standing where he brought a fucking tractor out. If it wasn't for that tractor, the match would have been fine, but nothing crazy would have happened except for Austin Theory getting his ass kicked and Brock being buried under all that rubble. Like, other than that, it was a fine match, but that tractor really saved it. This Jimmy Uso betrayal doesn't really save the match. It was one of the weaker matches on the show. The moment, yeah, sure, the moment's huge. We'll be talking about it forever, probably. But the match itself, damn. Like, Bianca, Charlotte, Asuka triple threat, pretty good. Balor, Rollins, amazing. Gunther McIntyre, amazing. Ronda, Rousey, Shayna, it was what it was. Slim Jim Battle Royal, it was what it was. Cody versus Brock, fine, but me personally, I'm tired of it. And Ricochet versus Logan Paul, fire. Good stuff. So this match was one of the weaker ones on the show. Probably, like, above Shayna and Ronda. I had a fun time watching that Battle Royal. Which of these matches would I rather watch back? I'd probably rather watch the Battle Royal, because it's fucking more than 20 minutes shorter, I think. Yeah, 20 minutes shorter. And also, there was some fun moments and nothing slow and nothing that was kind of a dumb decision. So, I don't want to shit on the match because it was a fine match. It wasn't bad. It's just, I don't know. The turn was a shock to me, at least. I saw some people being like, oh, yep, we kind of figured Jimmy might be the one to do it. It kind of caught me by surprise. So I like that, but after that surprise feeling wore off, I'm kind of like, damn. And also in the media scrum, I think Triple H said, oh, we're at the bottom of the third inning. And I don't watch baseball, but I believe there's, 9 innings? So you're telling me we got... This thing's been going on, like, the bloodline itself, 2020 to 2023. You said it was, like, the second or the third inning, and now we're halfway through 2023, and you're like, it's just now the bottom of the third inning? You're telling me we gotta do this shit, like, what? Fucking... I don't want to even do the math, bro. You telling me we got, like, a decade more of this shit to go? What? No. You should have ended this shit at Mania. I know, if you're listening to me say this, and you've watched every video or every other video on the channel, you know I've said many times Cody should have won, and I will say this every time Roman's reign is in question or is being talked about. Cody Rhodes should have beat him at Mania. If you say that this feud, this whole bloodline stuff with Roman, the Usos, Solo, even Paul is a crucial part of this story too, you know. If you're saying all this shit needs the title, you're lying. Yeah, that Roman Reigns clip that gets put around on Twitter all the time, you're lying. No, it doesn't need the title. If anything, it makes the feud more like, oh, Roman, we're definitely better than you. You lost your title. LMAO, laughing at you. And then Roman gets insecure, takes out frustrations on the Usos, yada yada. Like, if Roman loses his title, and the Usos lose their title rematch after Mania to Kevin and Sami, then that's like Roman and Solo being like, I lost my title to Cody, and now Cody's on Raw because this would have been after the brand split. Then, you know, like, shit, gotta abide by the WWE rules. I'm on SmackDown, he's on Raw. You know, maybe, I don't know. Be like, I'm going for the Undisputed Tag Titles. You guys couldn't get it done. I'm gonna prove that I'm still championship holding worthiness. God mode, yeah, all that stuff. Which, by the way, that God mode t-shirt fucking sucks, dude. I can't help but look. And, okay, I don't want to shut on Roman because I think he's been doing great shit. But that 3D, whatever the hell, him doing the Raw thing during his entrance, that thing looks ugly as fuck. That thing is terrible looking. Okay, change it. Change it now. Okay, enough dogging on Roman. But, damn, bro. Damn. Cody should have won at Mania. You don't need to do all this extra stuff. You can still do the Bloodline stuff. You can even still do Jimmy turning heel on Jey Uso. You can still do that. None of this needs the title. If anything, SmackDown now, because Roman apparently hasn't been advertised for any TV, any pay-per-views. Like, I don't think he's listed for Payback, Fastlane, any SmackDowns. I know the day after SummerSlam, he was like in... wherever he was, like on an island somewhere. I don't think it was Hawaii, it was Cancun. I don't fucking know. Either way, he went on vacation again. Which, you know, you need some days off when you're working as hard as Roman. You know, having like one match every other month, that takes a toll on your body. But, dude, now SmackDown's got to rely on Austin. No offense, I don't want to say bum ass. I was gonna say Austin bum ass Theory, but I like Austin Theory. His booking has just been quite terrible. But, you know, damn, man, it's just, you know, you gotta do the U.S. title as, like, your main thing on SmackDown, which, it'll elevate the U.S. title, but Austin Theory has needed this elevation for quite a while now. You can't just start now and expect us to give a shit about him. Santos needs to beat him, and then you need to present Santos Escobar as, like, a fucking boss. Alright? Other than that, you better do something with that U.S. title, because we're not seeing, unless things change last minute where Roman's scheduled to appear on some of these SmackDowns, you know, do the Roman Returns to SmackDown logo for like the 8th week in a row, then this is just a mess. But hey, first podcast where the show I'm talking about actually reaches the full hour instead of 30 minutes, and then I banter for 20 extra minutes. We made it, baby. So yeah, like I said, videos might be either slowing down or they might dip in quality. I don't want them to dip in quality, but I still want to upload some interesting videos, like topic-wise. You know, like, I like top 10s and looking at the top 10 blah 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 of whatever happened in wrestling. You know, so they might not be as, like, neatly edited as some of my other stuff, because I'm proud of all the videos I've made. But yeah, I will see you when I see you. Friday should be either a Roman Reigns related video or a SummerSlam related video. I have not decided yet. And if I do get a tier list out Sunday, I'm going to be looking at the NXT roster, and I don't know half them suckers because I just started watching NXT again, so please be nice to me if I don't know any of them. Alright, I'll see you when I see ya. Goodbye.